go through Oklahoma. We just saw one go through Peggs and Leech, and we're working on getting some of our reporters into that area, assessing the damage there, getting some reports in. We know there is damage in Leech. It's just taking us a little bit longer to get out there, obviously, because a lot of the area is dealing with flooding. Down trees can be hard to get around, too. Flood emergency still in effect for a large area that includes the Tulsa Metro, all the way up into Osage and Washington County, too. Several flood rescues currently going on through the area with still more rain to come. Take tonight seriously. If you don't have to be out tonight, it's already midnight. Hopefully you can just stay at home and go to sleep if you're not having to deal with any direct impacts from these storms. Go to sleep. Make sure you have weather radio handy. That way, if another warning is issued, it can wake you up and you can take action if needed. But that's just going to be the situation tonight. We will continue to monitor these storms all the way through Tuesday morning and Tuesday afternoon too. And we're going to continue our Fox 23 severe weather team coverage as long as needed. We're all here for the long haul, especially with these types of days, watching conditions and just kind of keeping you updated on everything. We're going to continue with Chief Meteorologist James Adela. You've been looking at things behind the scenes. What do you have now? Yeah, good news is that at least we're pushing out that overarching severe weather threat. But as you mentioned, still tracking the possibility of one or two spin-up tornadoes that could be possible. This is the live view on our Fox 23 Skyview Network camera. We're looking from high atop Warren Place all the way back east over Broken Arrow right now. Still seeing some rain. We've still seen quite a few lightning flashes around as well. Wanted to kind of jump around, take a look at some of these camera views. This is Tulsa International Airport right now. And again, we still have some lighter rain falling at TIA. So we look back toward Broken Arrow and Oneida. This is our view high atop our tall transmitter tower. And again, still got a little bit of light rain falling. We'll try for 169 and I-244. That one's been a little bit wonky this evening. And as we look up at 169, those are the lights of the American Airlines maintenance facility over there in the distance. So this is kind of 169 and Raceway Park. Tulsa Hills, Highway 75 and 81st Street in the Tulsa Hills area. Things still wet, but at least the rain has let up, at least for now. We'll go back to our camera at Warren Place because we've got another line of thunderstorms that's approaching the city. We're looking back north, swinging up toward downtown Tulsa, which is kind of under the fog and the low clouds right now. Look back toward the west, and we'll likely see the next wave of rain and thunder coming our way. You can see we're watching one area of rain and thunderstorms trying to move out of the city right now. And there's just not a whole lot of a break coming for eastern Oklahoma with the next round of rain moving in. You can see more of this rain lifting right across Broken Arrow, Leonard, Stone Bluff, Coweta, Inola, and all the way up to Claremore, Tiowa, and Justice. A little bit of a break right now in Tulsa with just a few spotty showers. And then that next area of heavy rain, you can certainly see that loaded up to the west of Tulsa right now. And that, too, is moving our way. There's a look. It's making progress. Now made it to about Cleveland and Lake Keystone. But we've got more heavy rain that will fall out of this. And we'll check some of those rainfall totals again with Fox 23 meteorologist Brad Carl in just a bit. But not good news for the folks in Bartlesville as the leading edge of this just about to move through the city. Moving at about 35, 40 miles per hour into Bartlesville. And that rain picking up again, 12:11. Copan 12:16, Ramona, there's Hog Shooter by Hog Shooter Creek by 12:23. Juan, right on the county line there, 12:27. So we'll continue to watch that as it moves to the northeast, spreading heavy rain. Thankfully, it is not very slow moving. It's going to move through quickly. Bad news is we're saturated. Drainage systems are full. Many of our creeks are full. This is just going to be straight up runoff. And that's going to cause some flooding issues for us. Now, I'm going to pause it here and make it a little easier to pop on that track. We'll say just to the west of Skytube, kind of curving down right over Lake Keystone and then right toward the city of Tulsa. Again, moving at about 40 miles per hour. Here are arrival times of the next increase in heavier rain coming our way as thankfully at least the tornado threat gone for now, except these little brief spin-ups. Even that appears to be dominated by rain-cooled, stable air coming out of this big thunderstorm complex. But we'll continue to watch for that eventuality. But right now, we're down to probably what we would call yellow alert. Let's check in with Clay and Shay as we continue just this
volume of street closings and water rescues.
Right, it's something I haven't seen. I've lived in the area now 6 years. Obviously, you've been here much longer. I've never seen flooding like this widespread throughout our area.
So thinking about the town of Hominy tonight is dealing with such severe flooding, and we're trying to get some good information, which is a little tough to find right now, on Hominy Creek and Penn Creek. Penn Creek cutting right through town, and I think that's the creek that is causing most of the problem for that Justin Air was showing us close to Highway 20. But the numbers I'm seeing here from USGS show that in Hominy Creek, it's gone from about 7 feet, which is a level of 24 hours ago, to close to 37.
Oh,
that's a 30-foot distance. I don't know how that could possibly be the case, but that's what these numbers are showing from USGS. What we know we can tell you is that there's a lot of flooding there. And there's a lot of water in homes, and we should check on that again.
Right, 5 to 6 inches of rain already, more rain falling. Let's go back now to Fox 23's Justin Air live in Hominy with what's happening right now. Justin.
Yeah, there is a lot of water here in Hominy, no doubt about it. Crews are actually in the middle of a water rescue right now as we speak near Highway 20 and Highway 99. They actually started the water rescue. If you take a look at this video right here that I got, it was around 11:20. You just see two water rescue trucks actually going to a house on the right side of the road here to rescue whoever was inside. If you take a look to the left, you'll see that there is at least 2 cars practically submerged underwater, almost halfway up, some even more than that. I mean, this whole neighborhood is just really just underwater, and it's really just a tough thing to see. Right now, actually, to the left of where that home was where they did the water rescue is a bowling alley. That, too, the front parking lot just submerged underwater. I see at least 2 cars there now. Just a very, I've never seen flooding like this before. So if you are out here right now, I mean, this is, you know, you really got to take it careful. All roads flooded to a good extent. I'm standing in at least just a couple inches of water myself, and that's just on the main road. If you were to go to the neighborhood again to my right where they're doing the water rescue, that's where you're seeing feet of water. So if you are out, take it slow, but really, crews don't want you out here at all. This is a big, severe flooding situation here in Hominy. Live in Hominy, covering news that matters, I'm Justin Air, Fox 23 News.
All right, Justin, we were just kind of looking closer at this this information again that's coming from the USGS. That's where we're getting this water information on Hominy Creek. It doesn't have any listing for Penn Creek, but we're talking about the jump in the water level in one day from roughly 7 feet to 37, and we said, could that be possible? I was just talking to certified meteorologist Laura Mock about it. She goes, yeah, it can be. And then we compared that to the discharge, the amount, the rush of the water through that creek, and it went from roughly 100 cubic feet per second to close to 30,000 cubic feet per second right now.
Oh my
so
goodness.
so that parallels that. You can imagine what that river is doing right now. That creek is now more of a river and rushing well beyond its area.
Right, and hence the need for so many water rescues from homes, from cars out there tonight. And it's not just Hominy. Obviously, this rain is widespread. In fact, Broken Arrow emergency responders have their hands full as well. So let's check back in now with Fox 23's Jackie Del Pilar with what she's seeing in Broken Arrow. Jackie.
Shay, it has just been water rescue after water rescue around here. We've been going from different spot to try to keep up, but they are just so busy right now dealing with so many water rescues. There's a car here stranded in the middle of the road right in front of the Chili's. Now, there is not anyone inside of that car. We got here just as firefighters were leaving, but obviously the car is still here. They do have the hazards on, so no one tries to go in that area or gets near that car. We have seen cars going through. You can see this car going through here right now, but you can see the water kind of spraying up as they drive through, and the water is just very high right here. Now, we actually saw something that was very eerie and alarming, which was I saw a vehicle go by pulling a fire truck. it was a tow truck that was pulling a fire truck away. And a couple minutes before that, I had gotten a notification from the Pulse Point app that they were doing a water rescue at the Fire and Police Training Center on County Line Road. So I'm not sure if those are correlated, but using context clues, I think that fire truck was somehow involved in this flooding and was affected somehow and ended up having to get towed away. So if these giant fire trucks are getting stuck in the water and affected by this weather, just imagine what it's doing, what it would do to your car if you tried to come out here. And again, I've gotten many notifications about all these water rescues, different roads that are closed. I see some police down the road headed this way here, likely headed to go check out something else, make sure that roads are closed. But again, I know the meteorologist has been saying this over and over again. You don't have to be on the roads tonight. Just go ahead, make sure you stay inside. Reporting live, covering news that matters, I'm Jackie Del Pilar, Fox 23 News.
All right, so the last time we checked on not Jackie, she's right there, but for Kaylee Doherty, she was in Midtown Tulsa checking on the flooding. She's moved well north of that now.
Yeah, she's at 146th Street North and Memorial. And Kaylee, you are also seeing a lot of water where you are. Tell us what's going on.
Yes, we're just east of Memorial, and I want to show you this. Water is covering the road here. I looked at a map, and Cherry Creek is beside the road here, but we're not sure that we don't think it usually comes up this close to the road. You can see there's just a significant amount of water just to my left here, and it appears to be pretty deep. You can see up as it flows this way, there's a mailbox that is completely surrounded by the water. And there's a man over here that I spoke to who says he drove through here about 20 minutes ago, and it was not like this. So the water is very quickly rising over here. He was able to make it through he has a very high lifted truck, but he estimated it's probably about at least 2 feet deep over here. You can see there's some cars on the other side. And one thing that is so dangerous that I noticed is, it's very dark out here. There's not really much lighting. So when we were driving here, there was no barricade in place, no signage, nothing warning drivers yet about this. So I'm sure officials will get out here as soon as they can and put up some barricades to warn drivers not to drive through this. But that's just a reminder that if you're out driving right now, there might be spots like this that officials haven't been able to get to yet, especially where we are now on 146th Street North, right by Cherry Creek here. So I'm going to talk to that man over there. He's on the phone with someone right now and see if he has any more information about if there could be any flooding on the other side of these trees. It looks like there might be a home back there, but I can't tell whether the people over there are impacted by this or whether they're okay. So I'll try to get some more information on that, and we'll let you know as soon as we have an update. Reporting live, covering news that matters, I'm Kaylee Doherty, Fox 23 News.
All right, and the good news, what we did see in the back of her live shot were drivers turning around.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why we tell you not to drive at night. As Kaylee mentioned, you can't see, and as soon as you hit water, it might be too late, not knowing the depth of the street and the depth of the water.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have water that can make the street give way, and you just don't know how deep it is. But the good news is we were seeing drivers turn around and not go through that deep water.
You can be a great driver and going on a road that you think and all of a sudden it just disappears. I've been in those situations where you're driving along and then all of a sudden, oh my gosh, the road is gone. It's gone into water, and you just don't know how deep it's going to go. If there's been erosion and washed some of that road away.
Right.
Goodness.
Right. Now we want to check back in with certified meteorologist Brad Carl. He's been going through some of your photos, and including some damage there in Pegs, Brad.
Yeah, there's really an incredible story behind this picture. I've been chatting with a friend of a friend who got this over in the Pegs area. Now, if you remember, Pegs was the area that certified meteorologist Laura Mock first alerted to as we were starting to see that tornado tighten on up in areas over toward Cherokee County. So as you can see here, this is a mobile home that's totally flipped over. There are the wheels on the top and everything else completely upside down. What I've since found out is this was Kimberly Fish's family's mobile home here. And it was her daughter, her husband, and 3 kids that were inside this, and they were all totally okay. They are so incredibly lucky. that they weren't harmed by this, because boy, that could be nasty if one of those things flips, and oftentimes that can certainly turn to bad, very bad news in those spots. So glad to hear that they're okay in areas over by Pegs. Still waiting to hear on additional damage or any kind of injuries in areas a little farther northeast where that tornado tracked and then really ramped up as it got a little bit closer to Highway 412. Another picture I want to show you here, and give me 1 second to advance this. This was a picture we also got into our viewer email from areas around Pawnee. Now, keep in mind, this is the spot we've been telling you about that has like 5 inches of rain, more than 5 inches of rain by this point. And this was earlier on in the evening. This was, of course, in the daylight, and it was around 7 o'clock from viewer Sean Rogers. Look how high that water already is, and that's 7 o'clock before they saw even more rain piling on up. It was already that bad some 5 hours ago, and as Justin has been showing you around that area, just how bad that situation has continued to really deteriorate to, and just seeing more in the way of water rescues and evacuations in Hominy, not too far away from Pawnee, at least in the same general area. So we're continuing to get more damage photos on in. Of course, if you have any photos, be sure to send them to us on our Fox23 photo team account, or post them on my Facebook, my Twitter, or of course on our Fox23 Facebook page as well. I'm going to go ahead and toss it back over to James to look at what we're still seeing on radar, and just as this flooding threat continues to evolve for many across the area.
Yeah, we're still watching the next batch of heavy rain move in. Now, there are already flash flood warnings and flash flood emergencies posted ahead of this next line of heavy downpours. But there you can see it from west of Skiatook right on down over Lake Keystone, and just about to move into the metro area too. Now, we can take a look at that right now and do a track on the leading edge of that, because as that continues to move toward the east, it's going to be moving right back into Tulsa. And, of course, that is going to lead to some significant flooding issues again as we continue to watch this line, these heavy downpours, move across the city, moving between 35 and 40 miles per hour, and already just minutes away from moving back into western Tulsa County around Wekiwa. There's Hayburn State Park in Creek County, Sand Springs and Prattville, downtown Tulsa, Sapulpa toward TU at 1247. So this is going to move right across the city. And this is going to just continue to give us this major flooding concern in the metro area. There is some good news. It's moving along pretty quickly. That means this rain's not going to linger for hours. We'll have light to moderate rain, though, behind it all the way back into western parts of Oklahoma. That's going to be light enough that's not going to really create additional issues. And we've got a new tornado watch that's posted. I think most of that's going to be east of us, but really close. It may go until about 8 o'clock in the morning. How about that? So we'll get that plotted up in just a second. The problem is we've got two tornado watches that are in effect. They're both on the map in the same color. So I'll get that plotted up for you. But we've at least dropped some counties out of the backside of this tornado watch, still in effect for areas from Tulsa to the southeast. But right now, it still appears that flooding is our #1 concern right now. We still have heavy rain in parts of Rogers and Mays County, parts of Wagner County too, and we've got this next batch of rain moving in, some of that heavy. Going to be noisy too, some thunder and some lightning with that. I'm going to add the lightning just so you can see kind of what to expect here, and that's dropping about 30 minutes worth of lightning on the map at once, and you can see how we're just kind of continually getting added pops in here with this lightning, the lightning icons representing cloudy ground lightning strikes. So what's moving in is going to be very electrically active. Expect to see a few sporadic power outages from lightning strikes too as we watch this move in. So we'll take a look at this tornado watch that is going to be issued till 8 o'clock in the morning, and figure out what parts of eastern Oklahoma are in it, and I'll get that plotted up for you coming up in just a few minutes. Fox 23 team coverage continues as we watch these heavy rains moving across our area. Clay, Shay, or yeah, let's go back to you guys as we continue to track this rain and these thunderstorms.
All right, let's go back with our team coverage to Mariah Ellis. She's been watching some of the flooding situation up near Skiatook.
Mariah, what are you seeing now?
Yes, we are seeing a lot more rain come down here again in Claremore, and we're just off of Chambers and Blue Star, one of our main roads, and If you can see how much water I'm standing in right now, I mean, we're actually seeing this whole road behind me just looks like it's almost like a river right now. We're standing in front of a Claremore Christian school and just a nearby church. And if you take a look over here, this whole field behind us is actually flooded at the moment. We've been getting video from some of our viewers sent in earlier, and if you take a look at that, you can see how much water has actually been going inside of some of those homes. It looks like a lot of people are dealing with some just kind of scary moments, especially keeping some of their items safe and protected. But we were just over there at Lynn Riggs, where they say they still have that area closed off as this rain continues to come down out here, just trying to keep people off of those roads from getting into some of this deep water like we see out here in some of these areas. It's a reminder to just take it a little bit slow if you are driving out there tonight. If you see that standing water, try to avoid it. We've actually had people drive past us out here, and my cameraman and I actually got a little drenched out here, but we're trying to stay dry. And again, we're going to take a look at some of these other neighborhoods in the area just to make sure. We've heard that some of these mailboxes over in this neighborhood behind us are underwater right now. Covering News That Matters, Mariah Ellis, Fox 23 News.
All right, and most importantly, we want you and your photographer, all of our crews, to stay safe. In fact, while we had tornado warnings, many of them sheltered at local police departments, sheriff's offices, etc., just so they could stay safe during the tornado warnings and then get out and show you this damage. But you just never know, since it is so dark and these drivers can't see with all that rain. You know, obviously we don't want them to get too close to our crews.
Well, they're drenched now, and the camera's all fogged up, and what a situation. You see that either there's a barrel or a large trash can that was just floating down the street. Presumably that was a street. Insane.
Right, just a mess out there. We do want to show you some of the videos and pictures that our viewers have been sending us here. This is a video that we shot earlier tonight in Bartlesville, where you can see emergency responders blocking the street there. Also reports of a lot of water, a lot of rainfall in the Bartlesville community tonight. Yeah,
it looks like the flooding actually blew away the S on Bartlesville. We're going to get that back. We're going to find where the S went. It happens when it's flooding sometimes. So you were seeing these. What we're doing is we're staying with this tonight longer than we normally would. There's the S. It came back. They found it. It's because we're seeing this in so many different counties all around, and we're getting this information about, okay, this is where water rescue is going on now. This is where a home we actually found, you know, Brad was saying, in Peggs, there was a mobile home that was tipped over. Oh, goodness, everybody's okay, thank goodness. These are the reports that are slowly coming in tonight, and mainly as soon as we find out that there are main roads that are blocked off, we want to let you know. So just in case you know somebody that has a night shift or gets out or for some reason, that they avoid this. Let's look at the next video now that's coming in. This is in Hominy. We've told you so much about the rain coming down in Osage County. They're still getting it coming down tonight. More than 6 feet. 6 inches of water have fallen in the last 24 inches, putting about 6 feet in some homes. Shed.
Right, there have been rescues from homes, rescues from cars. We've seen water rise up to the license plate height on cars on some streets. Also, Fox 23's Tiffany Alaniz shared a post from the Oklahoma Highway Patrol that the Big Cabin Fire Department in Craig County has put out signs to close the road due to high water on Highway 69 and County Road 300 and County Road 290. So
what you're looking at here, you're saying, oh, this must be just some, creekside community. This is the intersection, roughly, of Highways 99 and 20.
Now, the busy part.
Now, granted, that is not far from Pin Creek, which kind of winds its way through Hominy. But look at this, all the water there. It's back in those neighborhoods, back in those homes, and that's where we've seen water rescues tonight.
Again, about 6 inches of rain fallen right in this area. All right, we want to show you another set of, look at this video. This is from Claremore. I remember seeing this in the Fox 23 Facebook page, one of the messages we received of family members being inside this home, and you're seeing water rise up inside this Claremore home. There was also some flooding in the Rogers County courthouse parking lot, also there in Claremore tonight. So just, such a scary scene for anyone involved in this flooding tonight, especially bad enough out on the streets. But at home is where you feel safe,
Absolutely.
and then you just don't when you see water rushing into your house like this.
And our heart breaks for you when you see that happening, because the damage and the cost of repairing that, you don't know what the flood damage is some of the worst.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
it just undermines everything and what it's going to take to make that home right and without mold and all this kind of thing.
Exactly.
So, thanks for sharing the picture. Sorry it's happening to you tonight in Coweta. Look at the rain that's been coming down tonight. This shot, it continue. A video here. Yeah. Parking lot. What are you seeing, Shay?
Yeah, I'm just seeing the water. I believe this is the Walmart parking lot. Cornelius Hawker had messaged our newsroom about this. And, you know, in this shot, you see the heavy rain coming down and all the lightning. But look at this shot. Look at the red truck.
Yeah.
And look at how high the water has risen up against the tires on a lifted truck there.
Right. So you're inside, you're doing your shopping, it starts coming down really hard. And you think, well, I'll wait in here because it's safer, but then you're seeing your truck.
And you're like, I'm waiting here a little bit longer until that water goes down.
Your truck's surrounded by water.
Exactly.
Oh, goodness, yeah. Coweta's really getting the water tonight. The rain coming down. Let's look at another one. Okay, this is in North Tulsa, and you're seeing, and James is talking about this, almost anywhere where it's dipping down. The road dips down a little bit. We're finding these areas that are just completely covered. This is on North Lewis, where under that bridge there, that somebody got stuck.
And you can see the water pretty deep. Looks like the street flooded on both sides. Even though a car is only stuck on one side, you can see quite a large puddle, if you will, on the other side as well.
Right.
I mentioned Fox23's Tiffany Alaniz tweeting us some information, sending it to the newsroom about some flooding in Big Cabin, but now she's actually near Choteau, so let's check in with her. Tiffany?
Yes, Clay and Shay, we're actually headed to Leach right now, but yes, very close to Choteau right now. And when I had checked in with the Leach Fire Department, they had told me earlier that they were out checking on people. At that point, they could not give me any damage assessment, but I had already reported as James and Laura and Brad were tracking that large tornado that went through the Pegs area as well. And I do know from the Pegs Fire Department that they are asking people to stay out of that area. They said that they have widespread damage. I know Brad just shared that picture with a remarkable story of that family surviving within a mobile home, but they said that they have very many roads in that area that are hazardous and impassable, and obviously they're dealing with a major damage situation, so they are really asking people to stay out of that area so that first responders can continue to do the work that they need to do. In Mays County, obviously we know, as you mentioned, Shay, the road closures near Big Cabin, but in Mays County we know that Mays County 911 has advised that there's high water on US 69 north of Choteau, and that they are reporting several cars that were flooded out in that area. We also know that State Highway 28 between County Roads 428 and 429 are closed, as you all were saying, just with rapidly rising water. Earlier today I was in Pawnee, and we saw just how quickly the water rose in that area from nothing at all to roads covered and highways covered as well. And of course, as we've been saying, the ground already so saturated, it doesn't take much at all for that to happen. I also just had a viewer message me on Facebook saying that her daughter lives in a neighborhood in Collinsville, and that they had to evacuate their home tonight due to the fact that their house was flooded. So we know that widespread flash flood emergency continues for several areas in Green Country. And so just definitely stay very weather aware of that, and that rising water. A lot of people saying that they have found themselves in situations where it was okay, and then quickly it was not okay, just with the speed that the water is rising tonight. So we are going to continue on our route to Leach, and we will let you all know what we find just as soon as we get there. Still very, very heavy rain on Highway 412 tonight. Very low visibility as we're headed to Leach right now, but we'll let you know what we find as soon as we get them. Reporting live on Highway 412, covering news that matters. I'm Tiffany Alaniz, Fox 23 News.
Boy, safe travels tonight, Tiffany. You and your photographer, you've been putting on the miles. Today went southwest, the north. Now she's headed east to Leach. Leach, I fear what we're going to find there.
Right, especially once the sun comes up tomorrow, because they are still dealing with, they're trying to respond to the emergency, of the tornado, but they still have severe weather coming down. They still have a lot of rain, and we've seen so much lightning in the area too, and it's just so hard when the main thing is just to make sure you can get to everyone and make sure they're okay. And they're so busy that we don't know about any reported injuries or anyone being trapped or any rescue efforts. Right now, we just know that this is a big response there because James and Laura and Brad were tracking a tornado right through there.
Yeah, this is the one tonight in Leech where the storm was so well defined. Our meteorologist described it as textbook. You know, you could teach other meteorologists by saying this is what it can look like when it's really intense, when it's really strong. And then James was checking on the debris signals, and we could say there's debris 10,000 feet up. That's telling us what that storm is doing. He was speculating it could be an EF2, maybe an EF3, but it was sitting over that community, and there's no way it didn't do a lot of damage.
Right, especially with that hook that you could see on a radar that was so well defined. We've been seeing so many water rescues going on. I don't know if we have some more pictures that we can go ahead and show, but you know, some of you have been dealing with power outages, lightning strikes, again, the flooded streets. It's just a mess across our area, and unfortunately, it's not over yet.
Cornelius Hawker is out there. We're hearing that he is joined us at this point. He's in Broken Arrow. Cornelius, tell us where you are. What are you seeing right now?
Yeah, I am near South Olive Avenue and 129th, and you know,